DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, hope you're all well. It is Monday, and as usual, or almost all the time, Monday is tag day, and today will be no exception. So I have two tags from Jasmine and from Dave Nicholson, but we'll be starting with Jasmine's tag as usual. Hi there, Jasmine. Just to say quickly is that our snow has almost all melted. Yeah, we had a lot of snow. I mean, you can kind of guess by what's there, and that's already half of what was here. And in 2 days, basically, if it keeps on like this, it's going to be all gone. But it was really, really bad. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about the snow. I'm here to do tags, yes. So let's just start. Jasmine's 5-question tag. So I think we could almost call it a food tag. There's a lot of questions about food. So let's see what we get here. Okay. Now, question 1. If you had the money, would you eat out every day or still cook at home? I definitely still cook at home. I really, really like cooking. I like eating, and frankly, in all humility, I cook better than most restaurants that I go to. So, no, I would not go to the restaurants. I'm not saying I wouldn't go anytime, but I would not start going to restaurants if I had the money to be able to do that all the time. No. Although, I mean, I do enjoy a good restaurant every now and then. But I would not be eating any better, and it would not be any better if I was not at home. I enjoy my home cooking. Question 2. Any foods that you are allergic to? Not that I know of. Let me see. A little notice, I don't know what that was on the phone. No, actually, I'm definitely not allergic to duck. You know what? I'm just going to make a little short thing. They think I'm here probably to feed them, because there's a person that comes here regularly and feeds them. I guess so. Anyway, we're getting away from the tag, aren't we? Yeah, so am I allergic to any food? No, the only thing that I seem to have some type of reaction, and it's a bit of a weird one, but it is a known thing, is when I peel potatoes. If I don't wash my hands correctly after having peeled potatoes, and I go and rub my eyes, they get all puffy. But I don't have any food allergies. That's something that has to do with the product that's on the potato. I've read that up. That's not a food allergy in that. I mean, in the classical sense of things. Okay, question 3. Best meal you've ever had at a restaurant? Well, even though I say I wouldn't go to restaurants that often, I have been a lot to restaurants. And I've been many times in professional settings. So I've had a lot of good meals at restaurants. The one probably that comes out to my mind was in Cork. We were a group, and we went to a Michelin-starred Japanese restaurant. It was not cheap, but I wasn't paying for it. And we put that on expenses. It was funny because I was eating with the person who was in charge of the expenses. So she wasn't complaining, but she kind of laughed because she said, "This is not a standard expense, you know." And I said, "I didn't ask to come here." So yeah, it was an evening. So I was alone, but we were 4 people. Yeah, there was a couple. Yeah, there was one of the ladies and her husband, which did not work at the company, and the head of the assistant head of the institute at the time. Yeah, we ate really well. I don't know how many courses it was, but it was nouvelle cuisine Japanese style. And I mean, the staff were Irish, but the cooks were all from Japan. And I mean that not like, born in Japan born in court from Japanese parents or something like that. But really, it was fantastic. It was unbelievable. Would I eat it all the time? Probably not. Definitely not. And will I ever have something like that again? Probably not. Okay. Now, that was question 3. Question 4. Have you ever been on a food tasting event? Quite a few times, actually. Every type of food, wine and cheese, of course, and different things. Not the last one, but probably the most interesting one that I've been, but not everybody would want to go to that, was food substitutions with, it would actually, put it this way, it was insects. And they were fried, some were in salad, some were kind of gooey, but kind of like mixed into other stuff, so you didn't really notice what it was. They were like worms type of thing, but they were kind of fried. Well, actually, no, some were kind of gooey. Do I like it? No, I didn't. Was it a dare? No, it wasn't a dare, but I was at a kind of a food fair, and there was 3D printing of food as well at that food thing. So I mean, basically that was pretty interesting, but that was standard food. When I say standard, in the sense is that the proteins that were used were animal or plant-based proteins, but the bugs and insects, that was pretty interesting. You know something? It was not bad. It actually wasn't bad at all, but it's psychological, because as we were talking, I remember at the time the people were saying, you eat seafood, and seafood, especially there are certain types of shrimps, when you're taking them apart and stuff like that, or soft shell crabs, which is one of the few things that I have problems eating. They're pretty disgusting as well. Anyway, different type of foods like that, they can be pretty disgusting, but people eat them and don't really make such a story about it. So where are insects such a problem? Okay, so yeah, that is question 4, wasn't it? And question 5 and last. Do you experiment with different herbs and spices? Pretty much all the time. Yeah, I really, really like that. And if you do Asian cooking, you will have different type of herbs and spices. And you go, there was a period, maybe not quite so much now with the grandkids, they're not quite at the age where I am bringing out the really weird stuff. But, like, for example, it's not an herb, but it's a kind of a grain called quinoa, which is really, really fashionable now. We were eating that 30 years ago when nobody knew what it was, but you had to go to special stores. So yeah, I've been playing around with different herbs and spices for years, but it's mostly because if you try different Asian foods, you will end up with something like that. Is that it? It is. Yeah. So thank you, Jasmine. Wow, this was very interesting. By the way, Jasmine, if ever I'm in your part of the world, and you never know, it would be nice to meet up and go to that restaurant you were talking about on your answers to this tag. So anyway, you never know what life will bring. So that'll be it. DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Thanks a lot, Jasmine, for another interesting and fun tag.